All right, let's talk about setting up a triathlon, which is a little bit more difficult. And of course, we're going to do a kids try, which is even more difficult because every age group is a different division. So if you can do this, you can do the adult. So first of all, I'm going to do a new race. This is the Kenzie Rose Triathlon. I know it's on the 10th. So I want to say yes, I want to build this race. First thing I do is go under Tailor and Options. We're going to set up a few things on here. One of the most important is right on this very first one. It's a USA Triathlon event. So we have to make sure that this is the last day of the year. We forgot to do that at Chrisfield earlier this year, and it threw everything off. So I'm not putting any optional data. Participant info is all the same. We don't really need any of that. Participant info 2, if you click track USA Triathlon number, it just helps us later on with being able to do a report, which is nice. So finish line, this one's a little different. So we're going under participant for this particular one because it's the kids that we have to put only 6 in the water at a time. So it's easier to do it by participant than by age group or division. Other triathlons, we could do it by division and do male and female. So results, this one's a little bit different. There are 5 segments to a triathlon. That would be the swim, T1, bike, T2, and run. And we specifically tell it it's a triathlon with transitions. There are no start reads. And our timing locations, we actually have 3 timing locations. So timing location 1 is swim in, run out. And it doesn't really matter the order you put these in. Bike in, I just like to do it kind of the normal flow. And then finish. So properties. How many times are they going to cross over, swim in, run out? The answer should be 2. Gap factors. Tom, this is something he's worked on with Roger a little bit. I put a really small gap factor, really not 100% sure what that's going to do, but we're going to do the same thing for all of them. Except for finish. So finish line, there's only one occurrence. So swim in, run out. Basically, the gap factor is how fast should they be able to go between the two. And because they have a couple miles different, their gap factor, I just put them really small. You could probably even put a couple minutes in there. But so now we have timing locations that are set up. I said it's 5 segments. The problem with the kids try is the segments vary by division. So we'll see that again. If we were doing just an adult, we go to set segments and then this screen pops up, which we'll look at in a minute. But it's a kids race, so there's different distances. Nothing in results 2. Chip setup is my laps. This particular, we do the chip and the bib match. So welcome for that. Determine finish position by gunshot because we don't have a start chip. Partner setup is run sign up. I'm going to assign this to Kenzie Rose. We don't worry about any of these. Perfect. Okay. So it tells me segment descriptions are not completely set. That's because they vary by division. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to make my divisions. A little different than a 5K. Each division is its own age group. So this is 5 to 6 year old. We're looking at, it's about 3 total miles. And we got to associate it to an event and run sign up, which is the 5 to 6 year old. Okay. So we're going to save. And then we come over here. So technically there's only 5 and 6 year olds that are in there. So it doesn't matter about these age groups if you want to be really particular about it. you would set overall age limits to 5 and 6. And then say yes. So segments, this is where things get a little bit different. We know that there are 5 segments. So the first one, this is what it's going to be called, is swim. So the swim starts on their gunshot and it ends on their swim out. So when they cross, or the swim in, when they cross swim in, that is the first time that it's gone through that. So we know that they are, the pace will be calculated as per 100 meters. So if it's 800 meters, you have to enter. So we're going to do, it's meters, and it's 25. So it's, remember, it's part of 100. So if I put 1 here, it's 100. So that's swim. So then here's T2. So T2 begins as soon as they cross in the swim in. As soon as they do the bike out, that's the first time they're crossing that mat, and that ends T2. So there's really no distance on that one. We have, sorry, it's not T2, it's T1. So for the bike, when they come back in on the bike, it's the second time they've come over that mat. Very important right there. We know that that bike ride is really long for kids, 2.4 miles. Okay. Come here for T2. T2 ends when they go on their run out, and it's the second time they've crossed that mat. You click none because there's really no distance of it, and then run. So the run ends when they go to finish. And this particular age group is 0.5 miles. Okay. So typically for these, they don't want like the top 3 and then the rest of the age group. So when you print them out, it's just going to show. So you really don't have to deal with top finishers. There's not an overall unless we're doing an adult race. Okay. So now I'm going to go, and that's my 5, 6-year-olds. I'm going to go and add division number 2. Not worry about a short name. 7 to 8-year-old. It's pretty much the same distance. But you've got to do this for every division, so it just takes a little bit of time. So 7 to 8-year-old. Say OK. Update age groups. Again, not super important that you do that, but close. All right, segments. There's 5 segments. Now, you can actually copy from Division 1. And look, everything came over there. The only thing that changes on this one is the distance of this guy is now 50 yards. That's all. Everything else is the same. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay. Super, super easy. Okay. And you can just keep doing that. Boom, boom, boom. Add 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. You can just keep doing all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So now we're going to build, we're going to take care of the participants. So the first thing we want to do is bring the participants in. So that is the import participants. Run sign up. Import them in, and you see, remember, I only set up 5, 6, and 7, 8. So I'm going to say yes. Give me all those registrations. I'm not worried about teams because this is just a race. And I'm just going to abandon. So, yep. So there's 27 kids that are in the system now. I can go back and check. So that should be good. And that's just because that's what I'm doing really super fast. So not close. So update participants. So remember we talked about the waves. So here's where we're going to define the wave offset rules. If everybody's in, we're going to go here under wave, and you see right now they really don't have any wave offsets. So it's showing everybody is in the same wave group. That's going to be a problem. So what I need to do is get an updated participant list. So I go into my run sign up, to my races, to Kenzie Rose, to participants, and I want to export this file, just this file, as a CSV. So I'm going to open this guy up, and what I want to do is I want to sort by bib number, because that's going to be easiest for me. And then all this other stuff I should be able to delete and get rid of. So the only thing that the wave offset rule cares about is the bib number and what wave they're in. So there's 6 people in a wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, pain in the butt, but all right, so we're just going to stop right there. I'm going to save this. Save as Kenzie Rose waves. And I know that it likes it in Excel format, so close all this stuff out. Now I go here to, so notice these are all zeros and that kind of stuff. So load my wave groups. I want to assign from a spreadsheet. One time, bib number should be A, wave should be B. Okay, Excel, and I know that is in my downloads. So look, everything changed. 1, 2, 3, all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's awesome. That's exactly what I want. If somebody were to change, if for some reason they put Nix and Bettis in wave 1, I would have to make that change on this Excel spreadsheet and then re-import it. So that's really important to notice. Okay. So now, Tom, you've done this before, set wave times. So we're going to put, let's say, time. Wave 1, this is military time. So this is midnight right now. So if wave 1 goes off at 8 a.m., it's 0800. This is 8 and 00 seconds and 00 tenths of a second. So if wave 2 goes off at 8:05, it needs to be like that. Okay. So for a lot of these kids tries, I think we had like 25 different waves. But when you go and click that, now look, now they have a 5-minute offset time. Okay. All right. So from there, we go back and we look. We've got everybody in there. And look, their wave groups are actually changing as well as we go through the 6. You'll notice we also have the USAT number. That helps out immensely later on. Okay, beyond that, once you've got everybody updated and all the times and everything, you're just going to go to your regular chip results and you're going to go through and score the race. The biggest pain with this is that you'll see your timing locations. You have multiple timing locations. So there's nothing in the start, your swim in, run out. You're going to constantly, there's no setting in auto import because you can only import from here. You can't set auto import and then change to a different location. So this one we sit at the desk a lot, and we do a lot of manual importing in all three of them. So, all right. And then your reports, when you do your reports, really, it's still just the age group report. If you do all divisions, that'll work because there's all 5 segments. That's a little bit more difficult for a duathlon because there's not as many segments that are in there. But overall, it'll spit each division out. It's probably not going to show me anything because there's no data. Yeah, see, when it does that, it means there's no data yet. So just results, age group report, and then that's it. There's some pretty cool stuff that we can do later on for USAT and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, that's how you're going to do triathlon. So if you get any questions, let me know, and hopefully this helps. Bye. So now we need to get those different waves. We need to know when they're all going to start. That's where we come over here to participants. We're looking for this button, the wave offset rules. So